For the first time, I would like to quickly inform you that we host these sessions every day on 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, it's hosted at 7 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, weekends between 3 to 5 p.m. And we've been doing this for the past couple of months. QFAS is in association with Apna. So we've covered topics like software engineering, Gen AI, interview prep, resume creation, technical skills, upskilling, to name a few. So the main objective of these events is to help you grow professionally and help in the advancement of your career and get better jobs. So today's session is about breaking into software engineering. For this, we have Atishay with us. Uh, Atishay is a software engineer in the IT industry, and he has successfully conducted more than 500 mentoring sessions. He specializes and guides in both technical and non-technical skills, and he has helped individuals as software engineers. Currently, he's working with Amazon. Thank you so much, Atishay, for joining us. So before I hand it over to Atishay, a quick reminder, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat box. Periodically, we'll allow you to unmute yourself so that you can ask the questions directly. आपका कभी भी कोई भी सवाल हो आप चैट बॉक्स का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं आपको अनम्यूट करने का भी मौका दिया जाएगा बीच में जहाँ पे आप सवाल डायरेक्टली आतिशे से भी पूछ सकते हैं ऑलराइट आतिशे आई हैंड इट ओवर टू यू
Yeah, thank you, Siddharth. Hello everyone. Good evening. So today, as already Siddharth mentioned, I will be talking about how, as a beginner, like even if you don't have any engineering experience, how you can like get into tech, right? So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once it's visible. Okay. Uh, is it visible?
या आतिशे
Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uh, So today we will be talking about how you can like become a software engineer. Even if you don't have a tech degree like BTech, we all know that to become a software engineer, you have to get a engineering degree. But with today's like there are so many opportunities today that now degree से ज़्यादा आपका skill matter करता है. Like if you have those skills which is required in the IT industry, then you are capable to get a job. So we will be talking about that. Since Siddharth has already given my introduction, let me just reiterate few of the things. So myself, Atisha Jain, I hail from Jharkhand. Currently, I am working in Amazon Hyderabad. So I have 5+ years of industry experience, and I have like mentored a lot of students. I have taken 500+ sessions, and also I have taken 100+ interviews for software engineering roles, like technical roles basically. So that's about me. So yeah, let's get started, guys. Are you guys excited? Feel free to say yes or no in the chats.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will be taking a pause in between. If you have any questions, we can utilize that pause to answer your question. So I think that will be better. Okay. So we want to become software engineer. Now, to become software engineer, you should know what software engineering is, right? So in simple terms, software engineering is building and fixing computer programs. Uh, so basically any product that we use today, right? We are everywhere we see, we are surrounded with apps. We are using apps on a daily basis. Even this is one of the software which we are using to see this session, right? So everything, every software has been built by someone, right? So that someone is are the software engineers who actually like put a lot of effort to come up with a product which is like which has a good customer experience. That we even if we don't know anything about computers, uh, or any technical, if you are not technically sound, we still should be able to use the product, right? So अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है कि मेरे को ये वीडियो ऑन कैसे करना है ये सब, या फिर मेरे को अनम्यूट कैसे करना है अपने आप को, अगर वो सब चीज़ आपको सिंपली नहीं बताया गया, नहीं दिया जाएगा प्रोडक्ट में, तो आप यूज़ ही नहीं कर पाएंगे प्रोडक्ट, आपको वो लगेगा ये अच्छा ही नहीं है प्रोडक्ट. सो these all things has to be taken care by a software engineer, and once you become that, अभी you will be contributing basically. तो अभी ये जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ये जूम सॉफ्टवेयर है, ये सॉफ्टवेयर आप समझ लो कितने लाइक हजारों, पूरा एक कंपनी है इसके पीछे, जो उसके मल्टीपल सर्विसेज है जो एक साथ काम कर रहे हैं कि आपका ये सॉफ्टवेयर चल सके, राइट? तो उसमें बहुत सारे प्रोसेस होते हैं. सो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग इज बेसिकली द इंटायर सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट लाइफ साइकिल, आप समझ लो एक तरह से. सो as you can see in the picture I have mentioned, right, it's about planning, development, designing, testing, deployment, maintenance, right? So it's just not coding. uh, हम ये समझते हैं कि हाँ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग मतलब कोडिंग. ऑब्वियसली कोडिंग एक बहुत मेजर पार्ट होता है आपके सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग का, बट उसके अलावा you have to do these things as well. But again, to get started as a software engineer, कि हम कैसे start भी करें, right? First, जैसे मैंने बोला कि we need to achieve those skills, we need to gain those skills. So उसके लिए आपको I think ये तीन चीज uh, बस चाहिए. Like I will keep it very simple. So these three things are like learning programming languages, gaining experience through projects and internship, and continuously improving your skills through education and practice. So, just like any other intellectually stimulating field, right? Like be it doctor uh, or be it lawyer, तो सब जिंदगी भर पढ़ते ही रहते हैं. लाइक उन्हें नए लॉ के बारे में पढ़ना पड़ता है, उन्हें नई कुछ नया बीमारी आया या फिर कुछ नया चीज डिस्कवरी हुआ, तो उस चीज से अप टू डेट रहना पड़ता है. सिमिलरली सॉफ्टवेयर आईटी इंडस्ट्री में भी आपको हर जो भी नए ट्रेंड्स आ रहे हैं या फिर कोई नए स्किल्स आ रहे, नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आ रही है, सो यू शुड बी अप टू डेट. तो आपको बहुत रैपिडली, लाइक यू शुड बी ओपन टू चेंज, कि ऐसा नहीं कि मेरे को एक चीज़ आ गया तो बस मैं इसी पे ही टिका रहूंगा. सो ये चीज़ बहुत डायनेमिक रहता है सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग वर्ल्ड में. तो आपको हमेशा रेडी रहना होगा कि हाँ ठीक है, यू शुड हैव दैट लर्निंग माइंडसेट कि ठीक है आज जावा यूज़ कर रहे, कल कुछ और आ गया, तो यू शुड बी ओपन टू लर्न कि हाँ मेरे को नहीं सिर्फ जावा ही यूज़ नहीं करना है, जो भी चीज़ हेल्प करे कि मैं एक अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बना सकूं, एक अच्छा सॉफ्टवेयर बना सकूं, एक अच्छा ऐप बना सकूं. सो आई शुड बी ओपन टू दैट. दैट शुड, मतलब आप स्टार्टिंग से यही माइंडसेट रखो कि ठीक है अभी हम बात भी करेंगे कि हाँ पहले जावा सीखना है कि पाइथन सीखना है या सी प्लस प्लस सीखना है, लेकिन वहां पे सिर्फ हमें सीमित नहीं रहना है. लाइक वी हैव टू थिंक कि हमें इन दी एंड क्या करना है. हम सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर अगर बनेंगे तो हमें एक अच्छा सॉफ्टवेयर बनाना है, अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बनाना है. कोई भी कंपनी के लिए काम करोगे या खुद के लिए भी आप कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर बनाना चाहते हो, तो आप यही चाहोगे ना कि कस्टमर उस चीज़ को यूज़ करे, तभी आपका बिजनेस भी आएगा, तभी आपका ट्रैफिक भी आएगा, राइट? उसी से ही यू कैन अर्न रेवेन्यू, यू कैन क्रिएट एन इम्पैक्ट. अभी आज आज के ज़माने में आप अ, होता है ना कि जैसे आप अमेजोन ऐप यूज़ कर रहे हो या फ्लिपकार्ट ऐप यूज़ कर रहे हो, तो आप अमेजोन ओवर फ्लिपकार्ट तभी यूज़ करोगे कि हाँ इसका डिलीवरी फास्ट है, यहाँ पे चीज़ें सस्ते मिल रही है. इसके ऐप में अगर कुछ ग्लिच आ गया, आपने ऑर्डर प्लेस किया और आपका ऑर्डर ही या नहीं आया, जिसमें दिखा रहा है कि हाँ 2 दिन में आने वाला है, पर वो 10 दिन लगा दिया, तो आपका कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस ही अच्छा नहीं रहा, राइट? तो आपको एज अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर ये इंश्योर करना है कि जो सॉफ्टवेयर साइड है एटलीस्ट वो आप अच्छे से बनाए, राइट? तो ठीक है, लेट मी टेक अ पॉज हियर बिफोर वी डाइव डीप फर्दर. लेट मी जस्ट ओके. English, most of you are comfortable, okay? Should everyone is comfortable in English, right? I will not then talk in Hindi. Okay, any questions, anyone? If anyone wants to ask anything. Okay.
Yep. Can I talk?
Sorry.
Yep. Like you said, the programming languages, right?
Yes.
So it's like, we do have requirements on, we select the programming language based on the requirements. So now on the basis of requirement, which language is better. So what actually companies are looking for, which programming language experts they are looking for to build software products.
Yeah, so okay, I will be addressing these specific questions later. So, short answer is there is no specific language as such. Whatever helps you to solve the problem is what people use, right? Uh, Again,
Yep.
as I mentioned, right, that as a software engineer, you don't want to become a specialist. You have to become a generalist. Like you should always be open to learning new tech or new technology once it comes, right? Uh, Stating that, obviously, there are some particular tech stacks which is being popularly used across large enterprises. So if you want to know from that perspective, so we will like I will mention about few of the technologies in the later sessions. And if you still feel that your question is not answered, then maybe you can ask it again. Does that work?
Sure, definitely, definitely.
Okay, okay. uh Anything else? Okay, so for whatever, like, what is software engineering, at least people, all the folks are clear about it, right? Like in like just the layman terms. We are not going anything specific right now. Just what is a software, like software engineer does. Like they basically build software in a one line answer. I can say that, right? So that is what we have discussed so far. Let's
But
move.
actually, when it is said that they orchestrate the software, because we are going to be generalists, right? We are not going to be specialists. The developers are going to be the specialists. So I think we gotta be in the every phase of software development life cycles, and I think we gotta make it smoothly run.
Uh, so are you asking any question?
I'm just saying my opinion.
Um, so sorry, I did not get your
Yeah,
point
it's
exactly.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. Continue with the class. We can take this question at the end.
Okay, sure. Okay, yes. So which programming language to choose, right? Now again, uh, a very simple answer is that you can choose any programming language, but uh, we will like take some mental models to understand, okay, what programming language we should go ahead with, right? So in the end, our end goal is like we have to get a software engineering job, or we have to maybe create a good product, right? Maybe either of the other reason you have joined this session. Uh, so if you want to get into the industry, right, uh, going with the most common programming language can have a little edge, because for example there are different kinds of companies. So if you're going for a small startup, right, so small startups companies, they don't have uh, enough money to train you guys. So they would want someone who is already knowing that particular language, because maybe that startup is already building the product in that language or that technology. So if someone knows it already, maybe they would prefer that person, right, because they don't want to spend any extra money. So, considering those things, considering the actual real world scenarios, you can go with any of the programming languages that the top three or top four programming languages that are most common, right? Again, there is no best programming language. As per the requirement, it's very subjective. So, even if you like go with Python, Java, C++, JavaScript, uh, it's completely fine. So, once you have selected a programming language, maybe Java, for example, right? Now, what is the next step? So, as a software engineer, you will learn maximum if you do it yourself, right? Just reading about the theory of Java, how Java works, like what are the constructs in Java, that is not going to help you much. Once you actually write code in Java, once you actually get your hands dirty, then you will get better, clear understanding. So so like since you guys are complete beginner, right? So I can suggest maybe this link, right? So this is like 30 days of code link. If you see here, we are starting with day zero, hello world. Now you don't need any programming prerequisite for it. It's like if you don't know anything, you can come here and maybe you have say you decided, okay, you want to code in Java, right? Again, Java 7, Java 8, Java 15. If you Google, right, you will know that okay, Java 15 is the latest version. There are some improvements, but that is not particularly important right now. So you can use like any of the Java version. So as far as getting started with a particular programming language is concerned, you can just select your option. Now, again, if you don't know anything, if you read these objective, task, and note, right, you will find it's a simple English. There is nothing specific that they have mentioned. So here, if you see, they have mentioned that this challenge is about reviewing some basic concepts that will get you started in this series, and they have also provided the tutorial link. Uh, so this you can directly watch in YouTube. Basically, it will talk about the core concept just to get started, right? Uh, Once you even just skim through these concepts, maybe watch the video, whichever you prefer, then you can just come and try to solve this one. It's okay if it takes 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, but stick to it, right? Initially, like once just getting started with anything, there you have maximum friction. But once you like get into that flow, right? Maybe 1, 2 weeks down the line, you will be able to like you will start enjoying it. So now, uh, as as a beginner, just focus, okay, that okay, you have selected Java. You take this target that okay, every day at least one I will do, right? uh Again, it's not that just going to the question you will be able to solve it. You will be maybe you will not understand things. Once you are not understanding things, your tutorials, your YouTube videos will help. But if there are still some doubts, again, you can Google, you can ask ChatGPT, right? There are so many options available for you today. So instead of just spending a lot of time listening, reading about the documentation, reading about the content, reading multiple blogs, right? This is the way you will learn best. So you can maybe try this 30 days of code. That is one option. There is other option which we will be using further as well. So, for example, this this is another good list for beginners. You can like it has a very structured content as well. So you can start with the first one here. If you will find like the YouTube link of explaining the things, article, and here you can even write the code. Similar to the Hacker Rank platform, here is the Geeks for Geek platform. Once you log in, you will get a similar uh, code pad to get you started. See, you don't even need to install anything in your uh, laptop, or you can just like if you have internet connection, if you have a browser, right, you can just get started with your coding journey. It's as simple as that. So, any questions so far? Sir, is DSA required? Sir, I am pursuing my BCom computer. After can I look career in software engineering? Okay. Yes, Rafia. So you can definitely uh, become a software engineer even if you don't have a computer science degree. Because in the end, what matters is in the interviews, you will be asked about the skills. You will be given a coding question, or you will be asked questions about the projects that you have done, right? The coding projects, you if you have created some app, you have created some software, right? So there, the degree that does not like add a lot of value. Obviously, if you're doing 4 years degree, you will be doing a lot of coding, right? Obviously, that is the traditional path that we all know about. But it's not that even after BCom, you can't go into IT industry. So that's the beauty of IT industry. You just need to focus on these skills, and you don't even need any license like to practice also, right? Be it a doctor or CA, right? They need some license. They need to become CA, become a doctor, do MBBS. But here in IT industry, it's not the case at all. If you're able to create products, you will definitely get some job or other. I hope that answer your question, Rafia. Okay. Nishant, uh, DSA is required. We will talking about it in further slides. So which programming language will be better for the fresher? Again, if you have listened to me, Praveen, there is no specific programming language. You can choose any of the common ones which I showed you, right? Any of the top four. You will be you will be doing better. How can I learn Java front end and back end? Sayyad, we will talk about that as well in the projects part, like how you can create front end and back end projects. Uh, so Java is the programming language. There are frameworks on top of it, like which will help you to create that front end or create that back end, right? So right now we are just talking about Java, like we are talking about the basics of coding. Okay, how to use if else block, how to just print some string, right? For example, printing hello world itself. That is how everyone starts in their coding journey, uh, by printing hello world. How will you print that in Java? That is how you start. uh, I learned Python, C++. Yeah, Rafia, that is pretty good. I'm a fresher. I want to take any course. Which course is better? Jasmine, your question, can you be more specific? Uh, course for what? What are you talking about? Internships and projects. Okay, I will take this question, Sibin. Smarnika, I will take this question later. Vishal, I have just one question. I completed my graduation in BBM, but that is in 2018. Can I look career in software domain? Yes, you can definitely look, Vishal. Uh, you need to gain those skills, as I already mentioned. So we are talking about how to gain those skills, right? So you can definitely get a job in the next 6 months if you put your time towards it. Okay. Okay. So this is the first part is the of knowing about the programming language, right? That is just to get you understand the basics of coding. So coding, the concepts of coding, right? The basic concept, it is language agnostic. So basically what that means is that if else how that works, right? It will work the same in Java, it will work the same in C++, it will work the same in Python, but the way of writing it is different in the language. So it's you can take this analogy, right? Uh, if you are telling someone to go somewhere, there are multiple ways. Like in English, you say it like what I have said, right? In Hindi, there is you say it in different way because the language is completely different, the grammar is completely different, right? So similarly, here also there are different kinds of languages which was created for particular uh, seeing some requirements in the end. But right now, you can consider that yeah, these are like used common used languages. So maybe writing in Python it will be 2 lines, but Java it might be 5 lines, right? So uh, as but in the end, like even if you're writing that 5 line in code, even if you in Python you're writing that 2 line of code, they will do the same thing. So that is those things will get clear if you do this 30 days of code, right? You will get a good ramp up, or if you go with this things to know in C++, Java, Python, or any language, right? So this will give you the basic understanding. Uh, Now comes the second part, and which is the actual hands-on part where you create something, right? So now once you know about a programming language, you know that okay, you can interact with the machine, you can tell the machine some commands, okay, that I have to find a sum, or I have to maybe do some calculation, right? Basically, you have now gained that skill that okay, I can tell machine maybe uh, print all the numbers from 1 to 10 lakh, right? You can tell that machine using any of these programming languages. If you want your machine, if you want that particular computer to do something like maybe clean all the folders in a particular folder. Like you can right now you can do it manually, right? You have done delete or creating a folders, but you can do that via programming language also, via a scripting programming language which that particular operating system or software understands. So you will be able to get that power once you learn about a programming language, right? Now see, to in the real world industry, how will you showcase yourself that okay you have those skills? You need a resume, right? You need something in your resume which will tell, okay, see, I have done this project, I have created this software, I have created this solution which will help you to do XYZ thing, right? In the end, every software is solving a problem. So with every project that we are going to make in your journey, right? In your journey which is going to start or which has already started, uh, so these projects will be solving problem in some way or other. So whenever you are creating a project, even if it's a very simple thing, like suppose you are creating a calculator, you have written a program which will do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It will use Bodmar's rule, right? And list can go on. So it is solving a problem of doing mathematical calculation faster, right? So everything that you solve, it will always have a problem. It will always solve a problem. So whenever you are doing a project, just keep that in mind. Uh, it will help you in the longer run. But yeah, again, we to do some projects, I have taken one example, your first Python project, for example, right? Here we are creating a text-based adventure game. So if you see this, basically text-based adventure game, like you are uh, writing play left, right. Uh, it is, for example, if you give, okay, well, what is your name? You will enter your name, you will enter your age. Uh, so if you put age less than 18, it will do something else. If you if you put greater than 18, then it will print this, you are old enough to play. So this is kind of a small project. Again, it has the video and everything. So initially, you don't have to create anything from scratch. So when I started my journey, right? So I used to think, okay, no, that you have to do something from scratch, then only you will become a good software engineer. But it's never like that. So in our school, right, whenever we were solving maths problem, we used to see examples, uh, understand how we are solving that particular kind of question, and then we used to move to exercises. Similarly, you when you're developing something, it's okay to even copy the same thing, because once even if you're copying, you will learn a lot of things. That okay, you will understand basically, okay, even if you have copied, but once you understand, right, okay, I have created this program, these are the logic that I have written. This will help you to get some experience, okay, like what power you have, right? Okay, how the games work. You will also be able to like get some understanding, okay, whatever games you are playing, maybe any game, be it like as simple as Sudoku or 2048 game, or even like uh, PUBG, right? You might be able to start getting some understanding, okay, that yeah, maybe this particular thing, we are writing code like this. So that is something, that clarity will start coming only with getting your hands on with projects. So beginner project is something that you should start with, because again, if you start with a very big thing, right? For example, you want to create your own chat GPT. Uh, I would definitely not recommend to do that as your first project, because you are just getting acquainted to things. You just want to understand, okay, uh, for example, in this Python project, right? You will be maybe using this emulator. Basically, again, you don't need to install anything. You can just go whatever tutorials they have given. There will be some link where you will go, and similar to this, you will be able to code, and you will be able to get an output in your web browser itself. But again, the next step will be that, okay, you install some IDE. Basically, IDE is something where you write code. For example, let me this. Okay. So this IntelliJ, right? It's an IDE. So how you write your code. Uh, so if I do just a minute, let me close this. Um, okay, it will take some time maybe. So if I, right? Um, so there are like multiple IDs. Okay, let me open this only new project. Think it's stuck. Okay, yeah. So if you see here, right, we have this area where we can write code, and then you have you have options where you can see your output. So this is basically a tool for you where you will be able
Rajesh,
to, yeah.
your screen is stuck. I think it's showing the Google page.
Oh, is it? Okay, I
Yeah.
think I did not share the entire screen. Okay. Maybe I will show the image here itself. So again, ID, for example, Eclipse is an ID. ID stands for Integrated Development Environment. Uh, what it means is, if you are creating a software, right, you need a tool. You need some tool where you will write the code. You will be able to test things. Basically, okay, if I have written one line of code, how it is working. If to do that in a very simple way, you can use IDs. It's like a very powerful tool which will help you to create software as you like. So if you see here, right, you have the coding platform where you will be able to write the code in whatever language you want. You will be able to create your own files, and you will be able to see the output in this part, right? So IDs, all IDs are similar to this only. So Eclipse is like one of the popular one. IntelliJ IDEA is another popular one. So I personally use IntelliJ IDEA. Uh, Even VS Code from Microsoft, that is again a very popular one. So again, as part of building projects, right, these things you will be setting up. So setting up your laptop itself with these tools, that is it, then that in itself is a good learning experience, because you will even get stuck there. You will find some, you will read some tutorial, you will read some blogs, you will see multiple videos to even just setting things in your machine. So that itself is a good experience to have, right? Uh, After your first project, you can again, this first project, you can first do it in an emulator, then you can do that in an IDE, right? uh, there are a lot, you can, if you just google beginner projects, you will get a lot of projects that you can do, that you can just copy, right? That is what you should do in your first project. Spend 1 2 weeks, uh, that is completely fine, right? Because we are not in a hurry. This entire process is going to take minimum 6 months. So keep that in mind initially itself. That okay, 6 months I will give to this and see if I belong here, right? Because if you don't give this much time, right, you don't know that are you going to enjoy this thing or not. So giving this time is very important. Again, when I am telling 6 months, I am not telling that you have to give your entire day. Uh, I can understand some of you might have other commitments. So even if you're giving maybe 2 3 hours every day, right? So in 6 months, 2 3 hours every day, you will be able to grow a lot. You will get at a very good position where you can crack good companies. Okay. If you're giving entire day, if you're a student right now, you're just figuring things out, then you will be able to achieve things faster. Obviously, it is directly proportional to the amount of time you're spending, basically, right? Obviously, if you are spending 6 hours in a day, so someone who is spending 3 hours, you will obviously learn more than that 3 hour person, right? So it's always about the time. When I say time, actual time you spend doing these things. Any questions? Okay, let me take a pause. Guys, so far, any questions for your till the beginner projects part? Yeah. After graduation, which course is better as an EC department? But I want to come to IT sector. I didn't have any coding knowledge. Jasmine, even if you don't have coding knowledge, right? Even if it doesn't matter, even if you're from EC branch or any other branch, or even if you're not from engineering, uh, we are talking, right, how to get started from scratch, right? These things I did in my college also, but it was not taught to me directly in even when I did computer science degree. So if you can also do it, right? There are a lot of resources available today with you guys. You just need to Google. You should just know what to Google. Uh, so as long as you believe that you want to become a software engineer, you can do that. You don't need the you don't need to be in CS branch.
Actually, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Like, so, whenever we were building software products, we generally use ID, integrated development, which you said. But if we complete our hacker rank or some other link which you have said, we're gonna do like it's just like an assignments actually. We are doing our assignments for programming. So if we after doing it, but if we want to suddenly do a project, we have to definitely shift to a integrated development environment. We have to shift it definitely. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because when I was getting into this integrated development, I there's a lot of set of features which are available inside within a specific, like you're gonna say like uh you're gonna troubleshoot things, you're gonna get log gonna make your own log files and all of this stuff. So like is it good actually without knowing the IDE? Is it good of getting into doing a project in that IDE?
Yeah, see, just like anything that you learn, right? You only will understand that thing once you use it. So,
Yep.
even if you ask me, right, I have been using IntelliJ IDE for a long time now, but I still don't know a lot of features. I am still learning. So, whatever you require for your project, just learn those. You don't need to know entire tool. Even in your interview
Okay.
also, no one is going to ask you. In the end, you are using that as a tool to create your software or create your app, right? That is the intention. So, whatever
Got it.
feature you need, just focus on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Atul, you can also become a software engineer. Do you believe you can become a software engineer? Atul, you can unmute and say your answer.
Yes, sir, I want to be.
Yeah, so you just have to work. So just whatever things that I'm mentioning, right? If you try to adapt those suggestions, definitely you can be one. So we will talk even I will talk about these things in the end as well, like what mindset we need, right? I'm just talking about the kind. This is kind of a roadmap just to get you started because when I was a beginner, I can understand like it becomes overwhelming that you have to do so many things are there. Where to study, what to study, right? So in the end, what I have realized in my 5 years of industry experience and 4 years of college, right? Almost a decade being with coding now. So it's just that you have to get started with it. So with experience, what I have learned is that you can do anything. If you are given enough time and resources, you can create anything. So with this itself, like if even if you don't know coding, if even if you don't know how to use a computer also, but if you're willing to dedicate your time every day for some time, you will do that. You will definitely get better at it. So you are not better at something right now because you haven't given it enough time, right? So just think like this 6 months, if you give enough time to coding, you will become a better coder. Similarly, if you give 6 months to gym, for example, you will definitely build muscles, right? You will get a better physique. Similarly, every like any skill that you want to achieve, you have to give time to it. Now, giving time is the first part. where to give time, what to study, right? Now, that is what I'm trying to simplify for you guys. That I mentioned, learn about a programming language, learn about a particular, like create a development project, start with a basic one, then move to IDE, right? So once you do that, once you come to the beginner part, then comes the, you obviously, once you have done the step 2, step 3, you will eventually reach step 10, right? So after spending 1 2 weeks, you can start with anything like, for example, this, how to build an AI chatbot with Redis, Python, and GPT. So if you read this, this might be like a big thing, right? But again, it's okay. Uh, we know what an AI chatbot is. AI, everyone knows, right? ChatGPT. Chatbot is something like, now it's integrated in all of the softwares. Suppose you are ordering something from Swiggy, or you're ordering something from Zomato, there is something issue. The first person, the first reply that you get, it is from the system. No one is actually writing those things, right? So system is replying to your queries. Or sometimes you don't even have option to write queries, right? You just get options that, okay, are you did you not like the food? Did the food is costly, or you got something different? You get so many options, right? So that is a simple example of a chatbot. Now, uh, here we are building an AI chatbot. So again,
1 minute,
let
sir. 1 minute. Hello. Yeah.
yeah,
So 1 minute. So which programming language should I start first?
uh, you can select any top four.
So I need to first easy way
Huh.
to start this.
So all of them are equally easy.
Sir, as I have seen in the social media, but not are sir are easy.
What is easy for you? Like, what is the definition of easy for you?
Easy to understand which programming language firstly easy to understand, I think.
Huh. So see, again, you will be understanding a programming language once you write some lines of code, right? Uh, so if the way the things, the links that I have given to you, right? Once you actually go read this problem, right? You have to print hello world. This is the output that you have to print. Now, how to do it in Java? If you see here, this they have done this in Java. This is the code in Java. Now you will spend time understanding, okay, what is this line? We are doing here, right? This itself will take you 2 3 hours. If you give 2 3 hours, you will understand it. Obviously, b- in day zero, you will not be clear about Java, right? But once you start using it, you will easily understand it. So don't have that preconceived notion that, okay, no, uh, a particular language is easy or hard. It's you are doing the same thing in every language. It's like you know Hindi because from your maybe childhood you are speaking Hindi. You have understood Hindi. Your family speaks Hindi. So Hindi is very easy for you, right? Right now, it's like you have just been born. You Whatever your family speaks, you will just learn that language, right? So now you have option which family to choose. So you can choose any of it. That is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, sir.
You
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, sir, I am understand. Thank you.
Okay. No problem at all. Yes. So I was coming back to what we were talking about, is building this AI chatbot with Redis, Python, and GPT. So this is again a technology. Uh, as I mentioned initially, we want to keep this mindset that in the end, we want to solve a problem. So for example, we are building this AI chatbot to maybe, uh, for example, there are a lot of people. For example, we will take a problem for you guys. So we all must have seen that our elder parents, they are not comfortable using the phone that much, that how we are comfortable, right? So if we give them a tool where like now itself it's there, like they can just speak, like for example my grandma, she doesn't type things, she will just speak so that it gets written, right? So that is one of the problem that particular feature solved. So converting your voice to a text, that in itself is a project, right? So again, whatever daily problems that you see, right, solution for that, if you do it technically, it will become a complex project. You're understanding? So for just building that feature, listening to, like listening to basically how it works, right? So you speak something, that particular software, it will listen to that speech, convert that, do some, like add some logic into it, extract text out of it, and print the text, maybe in WhatsApp, maybe in YouTube search result, wherever you are using that, right? So doing that is like in itself it's a research. So that is one of the example of a real world problem that you might have seen. Another thing is, for example, uh, you want maybe every day you just want a random, you want to learn a random word, maybe like you want to maybe improve your vocabulary, you want to just learn any new word. So you don't want to open the dictionary and something, you want to make it more interesting. So you will just maybe in WhatsApp you will type, okay, give me a word, and you will get a new word. So how will a new word be defined? That okay, uh, maybe I have started 10 days back. So whatever 10 new words that I have got, I don't want those any of those words. I want any new word to be given as a output, right? So that in itself is kind of a chatbot, that it is giving you a response based on your previous knowledge that it has, right? That can become like an AI chatbot. So it needs some previous knowledge, uh, and it is you like it is reading your current input and giving you an output. So doing this can be a project. How to do that? Again, see, nothing will come from your brain. Everything comes with experience only, once you get that understanding. So this problem, right? Many, like it might have been solved a different flavor you will get in Google. So you have to just Google things. Right now, it might be overwhelming for you, but maybe whatever I am saying, right? Uh, just try to think about it 1 2 weeks after this journey, after your first project journey. So you will be able to relate much better. I'm sorry if it is getting overwhelming right now, but I'm just trying to give an example what an intermediate project can be. So the current market, right? If you create a calculator, that your resume most likely will not be shortlisted for an interview, right? Because that is the bar. That okay, software engineer, at least they have done some intermediate projects, something like a WhatsApp in itself is like a product, right? So just a chat feature. That is one feature. For example, Spotify you are using. So you know that you search for a song, you get the response of a song, like you get the list of all the related songs. Once you click on any song, you will be able to listen to that song, right? So that in itself is a full stack project. Basically, you have a front end where you will see the search bar. Then there is when you are actually typing the song name, in the backend there is some code which is running, which is giving you a response. Then you're seeing that list, it's a front end. So this in itself is a full stack project, right? So that kind of project we have to do eventually. So after first month, this is where you have to go forward. So that is what it is. And here again, spend 1 2 months, no problem. uh, do different kinds of project, and this is where you will uh, even from the first project itself you will start enjoying it, I'm sure. Like if you want to become a software engineer, right? If you have that mentality that yeah, I have to do something which will be like which is intellectually simulating, like you want to use your brain more instead of maybe you want to create something, right? So you will definitely enjoy if you enjoy puzzles or those kind of things. uh, you will enjoy making projects, and you will see you get a lot of issues. You whatever, maybe even if you are following a tutorial, right? For example, I showed you this tutorial. If you follow the exact same thing every single line, you will face some issue which is not in this mentioned in this, right? So once you do that, right, then googling those issues, you will be learning a lot of things. So this, if you have done any project so far, you can relate to what I am saying. If you haven't done, maybe just take note this down and just revisit it once you are doing a project, right? You will definitely be able to relate to it. So this is about the creating a development project. Now, the another equal part, like equally important part is data structures and algorithms. Uh, so again, talking about DSA, let me just show you this roadmap considering the time that we have. So we talked about learning in programming language, creating a beginner development project, creating an intermediate development project. So here things get interesting, right? Now you can, since you have something to show in your resume, you can start applying for internship. So you can look for internship and in parallel, you can start with your DSA. Look for internship. If you get an internship offer, then again, obviously do this. But in parallel, see, I have mentioned DSA, uh, complete internship, look for a job, DSA. So DSA will always be there. So just showing you the importance of DSA. Uh, Even after the intermediate dev project, things, even if you do an internship to get a real world experience, you still need to do DSA because that is how interviews are. And even the core of everything in a software is related to DSA. DSA stands for data structures and algorithms. So what is data structure? So in a very simple terms, uh, suppose you have a collection of books, right? You have some fiction books, you have some non-fiction books. One way is that you just mix everything and keep it. So suppose if you need some fiction books, you want to collect all the fiction books, you will be checking every book, right? Okay, is this fiction? Take it out. Is this fiction? Take it. Non-fiction? Keep it. So again, it will take a lot of time. There are a lot of books, right? But if you are creating categories, if you're storing your fiction book in one box, you're storing your non-fiction books in other box. If you want fiction books, you can just directly go there and it's very easily accessible. So you see, right? There are a lot of ways of storing things, but there some ways are more efficient than other. So in terms of computer world, data structures is the same thing, like how you're storing the data. Are you keeping everything together? Are you categorizing it? Again, there are a lot of different ways you will be able to categorize it. Like you, so for example, when you go to a bank, right? Whoever is the first person in the line, he will be getting the service first. So that is a queue, right? So that property, like first in, first out, that property is of queue. So similar way, like again, it the inspiration has been taken from real world only. You store the data. That if you have a requirement where you want to store some data first, whatever data you have stored first, you want to take it out first, then you can use a queue. So as per the problem, we use different types of data structures. So uh, if I talk about the names of those data structures which are important from the software engineering perspective, are like uh, there are two types basically, linear, non-linear. So I'm not going into the detail of it. Uh, Again, if you see this list that I have given, right? So here all those things have been covered. So there are like 18 steps, total of 455 problems. Again, you don't have to do it in one day, right? So don't think, okay, so many problems. You have to do it across 6 months, right? Going back to this, see, we are doing DSA, 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 right? So this is what you're doing. You are trying to learn when to use what kind of data structure. So this becomes very important from interview perspective, right? So for example, if you want to work in Amazon, Google, Microsoft, DSA will be asked. Like 60-70% of your entire interview is DSA, right? Uh, but again, that once you clear this level, right, then only you can think about these things. So once you are at this level, then we will do DSA again. What questions to solve, what to do, what to read, right? Everything tutorial is given to you. So I have mentioned it in uh, this link that I have mentioned, right? This one is a DSA course sheet. So this is going to take a lot of time, and habit of coding daily will help you to complete it. Okay. So see how to actually become a software engineer, which is the most important thing, right? See what you have to study. You know that oh, these things I have to do. If I do daily, well, you will be able to do it. So to actually become a software engineer, you have to inculcate these things. Without it, again, it's a 6 month journey, right? If you don't have that motivation, you will not be able to do it. So believing in yourself that you can do it, that is the most important, right? If you don't believe from day one that I will become a software engineer, if you don't have that fire in yourself, you will not do it. You will lose it. Obviously there, it's not like the curve is like this, right? There will be lows up, but eventually you will go up from this point to this point. It will not be a smooth curve, but you will definitely grow. If you see the diff, it's a growth, right? So you have to keep, you will be able to only do this if you have that motivation, the intrinsic motivation. See, if I am giving you this session today, you will feel very motivated, but this is going to stay for 2 3 days only. So if you are very clear, no, that I have to become a software engineer, maybe there are multiple reasons, right? First is it will be like, it will not be a monotonous job. It will be like interesting thing if you like doing interesting things, using your brain a lot, if you like creating impact, right? So uh, see you know that if you, for example, if you work in Instagram, if you build a certain feature, 1 billion people in the world are using Instagram. So that is your impact, your understanding. Like you are able to impact the entire India, for example, population, just by writing few lines of code. That power you have as a software engineer. Obviously, you get paid according to that only, right? So you must have earned, like software engineering industry is one of the highest paid industry. Why? Because you are creating that much impact. You are bringing that much value, maybe 10x the value of what you are getting paid, right? So these reasons, if you're clear, right, that okay, no, this is why I want to become a software engineer. Obviously, uh, your reasons, some reasons might change, but you have that skill, you have that fire in you, know that I will try, I will do it. Let's see, give it a 6 months, 6 months of sincere shot. You can definitely make it, right? Now, once that belief is there, now coming to the habit part. So habit of coding daily. So coding again is an overloaded term that I have used here. So you are doing your uh, projects also in some part of your preparation journey. Then you're going to DSA and projects both, right? Once you reach that intermediate level. So that habit of coding will help you. So what does that mean? Sitting every day doing something related to this, building a project or doing DSA, right? So this habit you will be able to uh, inculcate if you like put some time for it every day. Like how you brush your teeth, you know, right? Early in the morning, as part of your freshen up uh, uh, culture, you will be brushing your teeth. It's like you don't even think about it. You know that you have to brush your teeth. So you want to do the same with coding as well. That you want to get into the habit that okay, after breakfast or after dinner, I will be sitting every day doing this only. We want to get into that system. So I'm not telling any specific time that you have to sit at 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. or 10 a.m. or 6 a.m. It's up to you. It's up to your lifestyle. But spend like allocating some time for it is your responsibility. From day zero, that should be there. That okay, doesn't matter if I am doing project, if I am doing DSA, if I am learning, just starting off, maybe 6 to 9 morning, first thing before breakfast, I will sit. So even series of events, right? That will help you before breakfast, after lunch, whatever works for you. That will help you to be consistent for a long time. Again, getting comfortable using Google, ChatGPT. So you will get a lot of errors, lot of issues. Most of the things you will be able to resolve by maybe watching a video or maybe getting an answer in multiple websites, right? So get into that habit. If you're hearing something that you don't know, just Google it. You will get some idea about it. Just ask ChatGPT what it is. In simple terms, it will explain you, right? These things you have to do. Basically, you have to inculcate those things in yourself. So to actually get a software engineer job, you have to become a software engineer first yourself, right? You have to get into that mindset. You have to gain those skills. And 6 months down the line, for sure, you will be able to get it. That's my guarantee. So I have seen it. I have uh, guided the same to a lot of my mentees. I have seen them achieving it, even they are from non-technical background, right? So whoever is persistent, whoever's like stays consistent, obviously by consistency, I doesn't mean like every day you're doing. Obviously, 95% of the time you're doing, right? Out of 180 days, at least 160 days you're doing. So that is what consistency is. It's not about doing 180 out of 180 days. Obviously, there will be some things which are not in your control, but you are making sure that whenever you get time, you're doing it. So how you're giving time to your phone, you're giving time to your coding daily. If you ensure that, you will become a software engineer. Yep. Any question?
Due to shortage of time, I've disabled the unmute option. So if we can just pick up some last few questions that are there.
Yeah, so Piyush is telling he has a question. Maybe you can unmute Piyush.
I think we are overshot the
Okay,
time.
okay. So they maybe they can put in chat.
Yeah, Jasmine has asked a question.
Sir, learning cloud technologies is good choice for beginners. Uh, so learning to code is a good choice for beginners, Jasmine. Cloud technologies, again, technologies come and go, right? Few years back it was something else. Now it's AI. So it keeps changing. But the problem solving habit, inculcating that mindset is important. Knowing, creating that mental model that you can even learn maybe cloud technologies, whatever comes, right? In future, you will be, once you have that mental model that no, I'm doing coding today, I'm learning Java today, but okay, tomorrow if something else comes, I should be open to learn it. So good choice for beginner right now is doing this development project and coding. That is what I can say. Software, they have so many departments. Which one is best, sir, for BCom computer? Again, there is nothing specific to your degree, Rafia. So see, once you're doing project, right, you will know, are you liking front end, are you liking back end, are you liking both, right? So that you yourself has to come up with that answer. I cannot answer that for you. But as a software engineer, like in the end, you are building a product. Maybe it is showing to the user, or maybe you are doing something in backend which is powering that front end, right? So once you build project, you will get your answer. 1 month of DSA railing case and solved also question, but not able to get interview. I have applied to a lot of openings. How to solve it? Uh, so keep applying, Piyush. The times are tough right now. I can understand for freshers there are lesser jobs, but it's not going to stay the same, right? But your preparation should always continue. If something in your resume is not working, change that. Maybe build more projects. Don't stop. Don't accept the fate no that you don't belong here, right? It means there is something missing. So try to find that something. Uh, Again, 1 month of DSA is not sufficient. I think just keep doing DSA. As I shown you guys this, right? DSA keeps on going. So you have to do this. Pratiksha, yes, DSA important for data analysts as well. You can get some rounds where you will be asked, because again you work with data, right? How to store that data, how to store that data efficiently. That becomes a part of DSA is like a core concept of computer science, you can say.
Uh, Apologies, guys, because we have over short time. I have to stop the chat as well. No worries. We are organizing such sessions. We'll invite Atishay again in the following month. Like to host him again. So, with that, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you so much, Atishay, again for joining us today and for
Yeah,
sharing your expertise with us.
no
I
problem.
believe everyone found this session useful, and I think we were able to address most of the doubts and queries. Thank you, everyone, for joining in and making this a successful session. A quick reminder, please do fill in the feedback form that I've put across multiple times. It will help us improve the sessions and plan the next set of sessions accordingly. For upcoming sessions, you can also visit the Apna website. The link I've also put. Here you'll find the recording of today and the previous sessions as well. You can also register for upcoming events in the Apna Exclusives website. So as mentioned earlier, we'll have these sessions every day. Tomorrow we'll be having it at 7 p.m. And yeah, you can connect with Atishay in this link. He will help you in any way required. So Atishay, any closing statement or any closing thoughts?
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening so much patiently. I'm sure you guys must be motivated to get started with your journey if not started yet, right? So best of luck to everyone, and you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. Whenever I get time, I reply to all the DMs. So feel free to reach out. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Atishay. Thank you so much. So good evening, guys. Hope to see you tomorrow. Have a great evening and good night.
Bye bye.